Yo, what's going on, guys? It's your boy, Lifestyle to Lavish. We're back with another video. Today, we're going to be talking about the overview of the Werner training. When you go out on the road with your trainer, what can you expect? What do you do? What is it like? I'm going to give you guys some of my experience. I'm going to give you guys some of my friends' experience. And then so you can go ahead and kind of formulate some thoughts about what your experience is going to be like. All right, so let's go ahead and get right into it. So as soon as you finish orientation, you take your drug test, right? You take your drug test. After you take your drug test, that comes back good. You finish up your last little bit of stuff in orientation, like the last day or so. You do your road test, you do your backing, you do the Smith testing and all that stuff like that, right? And then they're gonna give you your thumbs up. You're good to go. And then they will let you know something like, hey, listen, look at your phone for your message, so you would know who your drive trainer is, right? Your trainer is, right? Okay, so you're gonna come through your phone on like the little Werner app, and so you're gonna look through your messages and find it that way. Okay, so now you're gonna be waiting, and your driver, the trainer, is, you kind of get them based on like what you are going to be doing. So like if you're going to be doing teaming, you're going to get a certain type. If you're going to be doing solo, you might get a certain type. You're going to be a local, like that type, you're going to be doing a certain type. Okay, so they kind of match up the students with kind of the accounts that is similar enough to where you can get the experience you need, so that you can better perform at your job, right? So 21 days minimum for unexperienced drivers. They call us placement drivers. Okay, 21 days minimum. I think she said can go up to like 40 or something like that, like the max, but usually people don't go that high. But 21 days is the minimum. After 21 days, if your driver leader says you're good to go, they authorize you off the truck. They're going to authorize you off the truck. Okay, now they have to observe you for like 5 hours during a week. I was told is that I observe you 5 hours, okay, 5.5 hours. And during that time, you're gonna be writing stuff down, observing you, seeing how you drive, whatever the case is, and making sure you're efficient. Okay, so I believe that's for like a total of a week. All right, so it's what, 3 weeks, 21, 3 weeks, 3 weeks out with your trainer. They're gonna be observing you. They're gonna be you're gonna have to back, and you're gonna have to back and then write your backing logs when you're doing your backing, whether you're doing 90, 45, straight back, whatever the case is. You're gonna log that down and everything else like that for you, and then you gotta turn that in as well. Okay, all the paperwork that I'm talking about, you're gonna get before you get on that truck. You should have that before you get on that truck, okay? Because they're gonna need to do that. And they're gonna have like a final evaluation sheet where they write some stuff down about you, and then you're gonna have to turn it in as well. Okay, just some, oh snap, the light don't turn off. I'm in a new truck, guys, so we're gonna see. I don't know why the light turned off, but so to get back to what I was saying, pretty much here is how it went for me. I got a message on my phone from my driver lead. He said, hey, listen, contact me when you can. Cool. I called him, we talked. He said, I'm going to be at the terminal tomorrow, or to pick you up, and it was like, all right, cool, no problem, right? So I was in a hotel still. I got the last of my bags out that day. He met me outside early in the morning, packed up my stuff in the tractor, right? And then we went ahead and we connected to our trailer, and then we did a little PTI. And then when we did the PTI, we walked around to the wheels and found out that the wheel had a hole in it, like a chunk, like somebody something bit a chunk out of the wheel, to where like you can see wires. So guess what? We had to sit there. We had to sit there for a couple of days at the terminal. So that's how my first couple of days started off. Okay, but after that, he drove for some hours, and then we stopped for the night, and then he had me start off in the morning after that, and that's how it usually went to where I was starting off every morning, something like 3 a.m., 2 a.m. sometimes, and I would drive to like 12, 1 o'clock, right? So, you know, my driver, super cool guy. Shout out to him. I think I got the best one out of my whole friend group. Super cool guy. We talked about it a lot. We vibed a lot. He wasn't too much older than me. You know, we drove the Midwest. His account that he's on is Midwest. Okay, so I drove all through the Midwest. Didn't really come back south, I don't think, really. I think the farthest we came back this way towards like Georgia was Tennessee. You know, that was the closest we got. And other than that, Midwest, you know, with Iowa, Illinois, Wisconsin, Minnesota, places like that, right? So that's where we spend a lot of our time at. So that's where I was. That's why I predominantly learning my training was the Midwest. Okay, it was pretty cool. If I gotta say like maybe what are some cons, there ain't nothing he can do about it. The wind, I do not like the wind in the Midwest. It sucks, especially when we're empty and, you know, it's hitting the trailer, and you gonna have to hold it in the road. You really gonna have to lock in. You know, you're gonna have to really lock in to make sure that everything is good with you driving, because you're like, you know, and it hits and you're holding it straight, but it can, you know, you're like, oh no, we're not having that. So yeah, everything else was good. I actually got a con. I would say the biggest con is the food. That is like the biggest con is the food. And I would say that because you got TA, you got love. I don't eat McDonald's. I haven't eaten McDonald's in over like 15 years now. It's been a long time since I ate McDonald's. Okay, I haven't eaten McDonald's over 15 years. You got that. You got like Hardee's, which ain't that much better. You got Subway, which is you know, I would choose the Subway, but you don't have a lot. So what we had to do a lot is we would Uber. Uber eats our food to us, but in some areas, guess what? Uber Eats don't even go out there because it's like a random area. You know what I mean? I remember one time he ordered two meals from 2 different places, and he literally got the only 2 Uber Eats people who was available at that time. I was waiting for my food to get picked up, and then the lady dropped off the food, right? And then after she dropped off the food, I get the same lady he has, and I'm like, bro, you literally took the only 2 people who were available, you know? So it was just kind of funny. But downside, most definitely, as for me at least, is the food, guys. Is, you know, and the price that you're gonna have to spend to get the food to you. You can spend like $15 on a meal, but after taxes, the tip, and everything else, it was a lot of times it was like $30. You know, $30. $28 around there. So it's just something that, you know, you have to account for. Another thing too, I'm thinking of more cons as I'm going on. Another thing, the pay. I'm going to tell you guys this so you can understand. Y'all are going to take some trips, and then you're going to see your check, and you're going to be like, bro, what I went through was not worth that orientation pay, or that training pay, rather, right? The training pay. I'm like, bro, that's not worth that little bit of money they talking about. I had to drive how long? How many miles? And I'm getting paid how much? Nah, not at all, okay? If that check's supposed to be fat. We took a trip that was like 1,200 miles, right? We took a 1,200 mile trip, and then maybe another 400 or 500 mile trip. And so, you know, it was on one check, and so his check was probably looking pretty straight. You know, it's probably looking all right. Mine's, what is training pay, like $600? Like 600? Nah, for 1,200 miles, $600? No, sirski. We're not going for that. So that's the other thing that y'all gonna be like, y'all go through some crazy distance, and you're gonna be like, bro, I drove 1,500 miles. I drove, you know, we drove 2,000 miles. That's supposed to be on that check, and I want to get paid $600. Y'all are not gonna be happy about that. I wasn't happy about it. I don't think anybody's gonna be happy about getting paid the starter pay, right? The I don't want to say starter, let's say training pay, right? So the little 3 weeks that you in, those checks are not going to be hitting. I'm going to tell you right now, it's really not going to be hitting, okay? Those are the, I guess, the 2 biggest cons. That, the weather, the food, but the weather you got to deal with anyway. You know, it's what we signed up for. So, so food, the pay, and then I would say for maybe some people, I would say getting used to, like a change of lifestyle. You can't get up and like get out and go pee at your get up and go pee, you know, right there where your room is. You know, the bathrooms, your room's here, the bathroom's right across the hall. You can just get up, or if you had your bathroom in your room, you get up out the bed, walk. Nah, okay. You know, I had to walk. I was like maybe in the last row, all the way at the back of the truck stop. Imagine you gonna go back to sleep, or you gonna get up 2:30 in the morning, or you can get up 12 o'clock, you can get up 11:30, 10 o'clock at night, and you're gonna say, all right, let me walk all the way from the back of I'm talking all the way back. Now this is a big truck stop. I'm talking about rows on rows on rows on rows back. You're gonna walk from the back all the way to the front. If you got pee bad enough, you will. So that's lifestyle changes like that. Another thing too is I can't be in the gym as much as I like. That's another thing that I would say that I would count as a con, is that I couldn't hit the gym as hard as I want to, because you know, you're trucking. Sometimes, like I said, the Uber isn't there, so you gotta thug it out. But that's why I brought my weights with me, so I can kind of like, I can do that. So I have my weights to kind of fix that con, and everything like that. I don't think it was too bad, because I really had a driver leader who was cool, who was dope, okay? You know, the guy trained me, super cool guy. Had a lot in common. He wasn't on any dumb stuff. He wasn't on like some weird stuff like what I'm about to tell you guys with my other my friend's experience, right? He was pretty cool, pretty cultured, and so we had a good time. The 21 days flew past very fast, and so I was like, man, it's already day 15. You know, man, it's already day da-da-da. Like, man, you know, dang, we only got a week left. You know, it's like, it's crazy. We're just like, go. Okay, so another thing I want to say too, while you're with your driver, when you're with your driver trainer, driver leader, whatever you want to call them, ask as many questions as possible, no matter how bad you think the question is. But if you think the question is stupid, whatever, you're like, oh, this is stupid, I don't want to ask them this because of that, or that because I feel like this, don't matter, ask them, okay? That's what they're there for. That's what they get paid for. They're there to train you. Any question you have, ask them. Do not be shy. I have a buddy. He said, man, I don't understand the log books. He said, the electric log books, I still don't understand how to use the tablet. You know, it's very confusing and stuff like that. And I said, listen, okay? Listen. Bro, I don't care if homeboy just told you. Ask them again. Say, slow down, and explain it to where I can understand it. Slow down to where, this is what I do. Okay, what do I do next? Okay, whoa, slow down. You're going too fast. Okay, now what? Because you guys have to know how to do this when you get on your own, you know? And so you don't want to be SOL. You're like, oh, well, I don't know how to set the load. I don't know how to sign my paperwork. I don't know what to do. It's going to be like, well, what did you do in training? Did you ask your driver leader? No, well, yeah, because I was, you know, yeah, I did a little bit, but then I didn't because I got a little nervous. Don't matter. Ask them so you can know what to do. You know, you don't want to be out here looking crazy and don't know what to do, and you have to call whoever and say, hey, man, how do I do this again, or whatever the case is. You know, you want to be able to make sure that you know it on your own, okay? So that's one thing I just wanted to say to you guys right there. But now, from my friends' experience, they had crappy leaders, very bad leaders. I was the only one who had a good experience out of like 4 people. I was the only one, so 5 total. So those are your odds right there of y'all having a good leader, okay? Out of 4 people, out of 5 people, I was the only one who had a dope leader. The rest of the 4, they were so-so, or they were just garbage. One of the guys, he would one of the dudes that my boy was with, the older gentleman, right? He was so picky. Hey, do this, do this, do this, do this like this, do this like this, do this like this, and it had to be exactly the way he wanted to do, not as like how he drove, but it had to be his way or no way. Hey, do this. Hey, do that. Don't do it like that. Whoa, stay right here. Don't. You know what I mean? He's very, very, very picky. And on top of that, he would also reject loads that are too far. You heard what I said. You heard what I just said. He would reject loads that are too far. So it's like, he told me he rejected like a 1,100-mile load. He rejected that load. He didn't take it. And I was like, bro, what? He's like, yeah, he would not take that load because that was too far. And I was like, get out of here. And he was sitting at the terminal for like 3 days because homeboy was not accepting loads. He was rejecting them back to back. My friend, she had, I think hers was maybe not as bad as that one. It depends, because she was like, her driver ain't really teach her anything. She was like, he ain't really care like that. He really wasn't trying to talk to her. He would just want her to drive the miles and get up out of it. So she was like, nah, I'm not going for it. She wanted to do more training to feel comfortable after that, you know. So just to let you guys know, you might come across a leader like that. You might come across somebody who doesn't really, who you can tell like, man, these folks don't need it for the money. They're not really trying to train me and prepare me for what I gotta do. They just want me to drive the miles. They I get up off their truck, put the next person in, and they drive. You know, so just understand that might happen. So hopefully you don't get that type. That is the worst, and I mean the worst type. If you do, I'm sorry for you. But it sucks to be you. But but if you get that type, I am actually sorry for you, because that's unfortunate. But you do have the option and opportunity to get another driver. If you're like in your 3rd or 4th day, you like, this dude ain't trying to help on Nathan. Dude is out of here. It's like, mira. No, yeah, you know, no, we're not gonna do that, right? You're like, I'm out of here. Then that's what you're gonna have to do, and get you another driver. Call up it should be on your phone in the app, and it should be your driver, I think like Fleet Manager or something like that. Call them up, like, listen, this ain't cutting it. Homeboy's a goofy. He not this, that, and that. We not gonna kick it. Y'all need to get me off the truck. They'll route him in somewhere, or they'll put you in a hotel somewhere and have another truck trainer pick you up from there, and y'all can go like that, and he'll just boom, go another way. Remember, this is the start of your career. Don't have no crappy teacher. You literally do not have to settle for that. If you settle for that, that is 100% on you. Okay, you don't have to settle for that. You can literally request a new teacher. You can do it. Okay, so just keep that in mind. So if your teacher's on some garbage and you like, nah, bro, homie is out of here, I'm done, get you a new teacher. Okay, but make sure that you are willing to learn. Make sure that you're coachable. Make sure that you're not out here being, bro, I already know everything, bro, my granddad used to drive a truck, my uncle, my mama, my I ain't trying to hear nothing you trying to say. Then you might be the problem. Well, not even might be, you are the problem. You feel me? So make sure you're coachable. Make sure you're ready to learn. Make sure you can take advice, take criticism, and everything else like that. And yeah, you're gonna make some mistakes. I made a couple mistakes. I laughed it off. I made the same mistake a couple of times. And he's like, bro, you didn't learn for the first time? I'm like, my bad. I made mistakes a couple of times, the same mistake a couple of times. So don't feel bad about that, okay? It's going to happen. But make sure that you're ready to learn, you have an open mind, and that you're actually, that you're coachable before you try to get a new trainer, because you're going to run into the same situation, because the problem isn't them, it's you. All right? Now, this is my boy. This is my boy. He's actually going to be on the channel. You guys are going to see him. I'm going to be team jobbing with him. This guy right here has a teacher who is so-so. He be on some garbage. He's like one of those guys who have their good and their bad days, okay? So that's going to be like, I would say, I would say, okay, let's do this. We're going to put them into 3 categories, okay? 3 categories, okay? The first one is the one I have, dope teacher. You're vibing, you know what I'm saying? Everything's cool, culture, great. You struck out, you're the lucky star. The second one is the one that my boy got who's going to be on the channel. They're so-so. They have their good days, they have their bad days, they be on some bull, then sometimes they aight, you know. That's probably what a lot of y'all might get. And then the last one is what the other 2 got. Just god awful teachers. And some of y'all is gonna fall into that category number 3. You're gonna fall into that category. You're gonna fall into it. It's gonna happen. I'm trying to tell you. If you're like, bro, it's probably gonna be me, it's probably gonna be you. You never know. You know what I mean? With my luck, I say I have the best worst luck, because when something good happens, it's to the top. When something bad happens, it's the worst possible situation for me. I'm like, oh man, of course, you know, it's like of course. So that being said, I just want to let you guys know those are kind of the 3 the 3 categories that your instructors are going to fall into. Okay, I didn't want to make this video too long, but listen, if you guys have any questions, if you guys have any questions, let me know. Okay, that was pretty much my experience. Everything was cool. Everything else I would say was a pro for me. You know, everything was cool. That's why I didn't say any pros, because everything else was the pros. That's why I wanted to list the cons, because everything else was a pro, and there it is, just a couple cons. But if there might not be their cons for me, there might not be cons for you. You know, so that's just my take. That's just my little experience on that. I had to wait until I finished with training to pump out more videos, but now since I'm in the truck, I'm going to be bumping out more videos, talking about more stuff. So guys, get ready for more content. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and share this video. If you had a bad trainer, put it down below. I want to hear y'all stories. If you had a great trainer, put it down below. If your trainer was so-so, put it down below. Comment something. It helps out a lot, so we can get the video out here, get more views, get more more viewers in, and build a community. Okay, we're gonna build a community out here, guys. So do your thing, like, comment, share, and subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.